I know that you're going with another guy. Don't care, 'cause I love you, baby, that's no lie. Love you more than I did when you were mine. Hey everybody, Mike McWilliams, Upstairs to the Right Music. Before we get started today, I just wanted to share with you that we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel. When we do that, we'll be able to do live streams. We will increase the amount of giveaways that we'll be doing, and a whole lot more. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please take the time to do so. It really does make a difference in getting us to our goal if you haven't. And if you like the contents, don't forget to hit that like button as well. Okay, on to today's show. This is an unboxing today, and usually, you know, when I do the programs on the channel here, I write a script down, points that I'd like to cover, and you know, I keep it kind of open because even when I'm doing it, sometimes things occur to me. So today, however, I'm going to do this unscripted because I'm really excited. Actually, I want to show my real excitement about this unboxing. Now, if you guys think that there's going to be a lot of unboxing videos on the Upstairs to the Right Music channel, think again. It's not that kind of channel. But what we do is we do bring in equipment and things that we feel are going to enhance the studio here, to enhance the sound of recordings that we're doing, and I believe that this piece will achieve that. So first and foremost, let's open it up and take a look and see exactly what we've got in here. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's take it off. Quality service, saying that they inspected it. So this was inspected at Thomann and set up by Inspector 2720. Here it is, folks. The Harley Benton TE80. Wow. There's the back. And the front. Now, I know I haven't gotten around to doing a demo of that Harley Benton bass that we got in yet, but if they keep rolling in like this, it's just going to get put on the back burner. We're definitely going to be doing a demo of this today in this program. So we're not just going to look at it, we're going to listen to it here. But just on the initial looking at it, guys, this is gorgeous. Holy molies. I know I should be talking, but I just want to take that in. Look at that top. And take a look at that back. That is just gorgeous. Of course, we'll do B-roll on this so you can see it in a lot more detail. It's weighty. It's heavy. I'm wondering if it's as... No, this is heavier. This is 8 pounds, 8 ounces. I'm going to say that this is easily 9 pounds. Maybe 9. Yeah, this is like 9.5 pounds, maybe even 10 pounds. It's definitely, it feels like it's at least a pound heavier than that. We'll put it on the scale and we'll see, but it's not, it's not something that bothers me. You know, I'm not really bothered by heavy guitars. So let's have a little talk about the origins of this guitar, and let's talk about its Prince connection, and let's talk about why I'm interested in it. So In 1980-81, Prince was using a Gibson L5S guitar. It was the guitar that he used on his first album, his second album, and when he got around the time of his third album, Dirty Mind, I think he was in the market for a different sound in terms of guitar. The story goes that he was on his way to a rehearsal or a live show, one of the two, in Minneapolis. And there was a gas station that he stopped at while they were putting gas in the car on their way to this gig. And this gas station was right next door to a pawn shop. And sometimes the pawn shop would take some of its items and put them on display over in the gas station. It's not clear if it was the same owner, but they seem to have that kind of arrangement. Well, Prince saw this guitar. Actually, it was a Horner Mad Cat. And he immediately said, "I've got to have that." There was a little bit of discussion with him and the cashier, and it was finally settled on $80 for the price of that guitar. I'm going to pause here for 3 seconds to say that that $80 guitar went on to make millions of dollars worth of records. Millions of dollars worth of records. So if you think that buying that $5,000 custom shop whatever is really going to make that difference for you, no, it's not. It really is, it's what you do with it, man. I can't preach that enough. But I digress.
He told me several times that he didn't like my kind, 'cause I was a bit too leisurely. It seemed that I was busy doing something close to nothing, different from the day before. That's when I saw her. She walked in through the outdoor. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a second-hand store. Raspberry beret, and if it was born, she wouldn't wear much more. Raspberry beret.
Now at that time, Prince had started working with another young guitarist named Jesse Johnson. Jesse Johnson was a Strat player. And so I think that that influence of Jesse's Strat sound with a combination of coming up with his Mad Cat that really made Prince go in that sonic direction in terms of where he wanted to go guitar-wise. This guitar was designed by two Japanese men. One of them is a very famous composer and musician. The other one was the designer of Ellie. I don't think people want to see you eat box on YouTube. That's a whole nother channel. Off. See? Well, this is why, what's the use of scripting this today? I'm not going to get through this straight anyway. So, yeah, so that Strat sound. Now, these two Japanese guys, one was a musician, professional musician, very well known. The other one was a designer of guitars who worked in the Matsumoto Fujigen factory. And one night, sitting down having drinks, the guy sketched out the idea of taking a Telly but putting in Strat pickups. And thus the Mad Cat was born. They took the design and they made, I'd say a couple hundred of these, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 or 400 of them. Very hard to find, if you can find an original Mad Cat designed by these guys. Horner, the German company that makes instruments, I know them through their harmonicas. My dad had a Horner harmonica. I grew up playing a Horner harmonica. They bought the rights to produce the Mad Cat, and they came out with their own version. This was the version that Prince came across. So there was a lot more of these produced, and still not in great numbers. Still very low production numbers on, but he, just by fate would have it, he came across his. Later on, this was again redone by a company in Germany that relabeled it The Prince. As a matter of fact, one of these copy guitars made it to Prince himself who promptly sent them a cease and desist letter. But if you take a look at the ledger of his guitars he had in his possession after his death, up to the time of his death, he still held on to the Prince model that they gave him, interesting enough. And that's what this guitar is modeled after. This guitar is modeled after that, what would that make it, the third iteration of that Mad Cat guitar. That would actually make this the fourth iteration of that guitar. So that's a little background on this guitar and its history.
Don't wanna pressure you, baby, but all I ever wanted to do won't be your
So a little bit of story time with this guitar in mind. So it was maybe 1982 or 83. I was getting ready to go catch school bus to go to school, and in the morning times in our house, when my father wasn't there, he was an airline pilot, so when he was out of town, we could play the radio in the morning, and other times no. It had to be silence. So he was out of town and we had the radio on, and we were, instead of listening to the usual jazz stations that my father liked to listen to, we were listening to KJLH, which was an urban station at that time in Los Angeles. And that morning I heard this. And when I heard that lick playing on this song from this artist that I never heard of, I stopped in my track. Well, I heard of him before, but I never really paid him much attention until that moment. You know, that lick from Lady Cab Driver, that is the lick that basically got me started playing guitar. Really seriously. Before that I was playing bass, but it was that sound, that rhythm sound, that staccato sound of it, that cut through the mix, and it just sounded, my father was an audiophile, so we had a really good sound system in the living room. So believe me, when I was listening to that mix and hearing that, it transformed me. So it was this lick from Lady Cab Driver that really started me off playing guitar. It was from that moment on that I wanted to play rhythm guitar. And you know, since then I really wondered what guitar was it that Prince was using. Now when you look at the publicity photos at that time, if you were young and naive in the 80s with no internet, you would think that that was a Telecaster. But no, it was not. It was a Horner Mad Cat. And the big difference between that Horner Mad Cat and a Telecaster are the pickups. Here the S1 and the S3 position are Stratocaster pickups. Generally in a Telecaster and a Tele, there's going to be a brass plate underneath the back pickup and the bridge. That does not exist in this guitar. This is basically Strat with the 2 and 4 position taken out and a 3 position switch, volume and tone. And that makes a big difference because this, even played on a Strat, doesn't have this quackiness. It's that quackiness that makes the big difference with the rhythm sounds on this guitar. If you think of if you think of all those famous Prince and Time licks that were played on this guitar and Jesse Johnson's Strat as well, you'll understand why, as a musician, as a guy growing up admiring Prince and listening to his music, I was fascinated with his guitar. Now that I have this, I can say, first off, my impressions of this guitar are as follows. I have no complaints about the fit and finish with the exception of the input jack here. I don't know if you can hear that. It's a little loose. That's easy enough. So what you do is you just unscrew the jack, take it out, use a pair of pliers, gently tighten it, and put it back in. You should be straight. So that's not a big deal. Fit and finish wise, there is no problems with this guitar at all. It's in really, really great shape. I really record with this guitar, as you know. This one, I do have a project, a song that I'd like to try it on, but it needs some work. In terms of setup, yeah, it's set up pretty good. Pretty good out of the box. I'm going to take a look at that as well for just playability for right now, for me to just get used to it. Other impressions, this really is not a light guitar. I kid you not when I say that it is a pound heavier than this Epiphone Les Paul. This thing is weighing in at 9 pounds and 7 ounces. So, I'm sorry, 9 pounds, 9 ounces. So, you know, this is a heavy mocker. 8 pounds, 8 ounces. I would never think that I would own a Tele type body guitar that would be heavier than a Les Paul, but here it is. So yeah, that would be my only not misgiving about it. I knew it was a heavy guitar coming in. It doesn't feel cheap. These deluxe series guitars, they put a little bit of effort into putting them together. It's a great body on this guitar. I'm really happy with this. There is a little bleed over in the painted on binding, a couple of spots where they missed it, but again, this is not the type of guitar that you want nice and shiny. You want this to start looking like it's had some wear and tear on it, which it will over the years with me. I assure that. I'm going to rip a hole in this one playing it. So there's really nothing like this guitar out there that you're going to get for the price until you get into the Prince version of this, which is still being produced, which is a $3,300 guitar as it stands right now. There's a guy who owns this model as well as the Prince model. He says, of course, when you feel them, you can feel the construction differences, but sound-wise, sonically, they are exactly the same. So, taking his word for that, I will say, okay, great. So there's no need to change these pickups, I think. I think these I love the Roswell pickups in the bass, the jazz bass. These Roswell pickups in this sound fine to me. We'll have to tune this in and find a sweet spot on sounds. I still got to figure out how to work this configuration because this is new to me. But yeah, I like it. Again, another winner from Harley Benton. Yeah, it took a while to get, over a month and a half for this to get delivered, but it was well worth the wait. I can't complain at all. I'm very happy with it. So you will be seeing this guitar quite a bit, I'm sure, for demos and things that will be coming up here on the channel. I thank you for taking the time to watch this unboxing and demo, slight demo with me on this guitar. And until the next show, you guys take care. I'll see you. Bye-bye.